You know, my brother Andrew, also a fisherman, heard John the Baptist talk about this man, Jesus, who was coming. It was hard for me to believe it. God's people had been waiting for thousands of years for God's promised Savior. I kept thinking, really? It's happening? Not only that, but I might get to meet the Savior. And here's the most amazing thing. Even before I said anything, Jesus the Savior asked me to come and follow him. I never thought that Jesus would pick me, a plain, unknown fisherman. I mean, shouldn't Jesus be calling important people like kings and rulers?
Simon Peter is my brother, and like him, I was a little shocked when Jesus not only said hello to me, but even more so when he asked me to follow him. I felt my fishing nets fall from my hands. When we were growing up, we learned that if a rabbi or a teacher asked you to come with him, you left everything and did what he said. And we heard, through our friend and teacher John the Baptist, that Jesus was more than just another rabbi. He was God's promised Savior.
One day I was walking down the street in Galilee. All of a sudden Jesus came up to me and didn't say much. In fact, I think all he said was, "Follow me." As Andrew said, if a rabbi told you to come with him, you were supposed to go right away. I was a little confused, but I dropped what I was doing. Soon I began to get the idea that Jesus was the Savior so many of us were waiting for. So I went and told Nathanael that the Savior we were waiting for finally was here and came from Nazareth.
When Philip told me that Jesus, the one God sent to save us, was from Nazareth, I almost laughed. Nazareth? Does anything good come from that city? Sorry, old habit. I went with Philip, and as I got closer to Jesus, he saw me from far away and called me by name and said something to me about me. I asked, "How did you know that? How do you know me?" Then Jesus told me he saw me sitting under a tree, and he knew he was also going to call me and tell me to follow him. I was shocked.
It's kind of funny. After Jesus called me, I never really missed what I did before. Fishing was the only thing I had ever done, and I was good at it. But I knew following the Savior was better. I missed my family. Later my wife joined me, but I knew I was a part of something big. Now I would not be going into the sea and dropping my net into the water, hoping to get some fish to sell. I now wanted to go out into the streets and tell people about Jesus. Jesus told us we would want to look for people, not fish.
As we got to know Jesus, it was so weird being accepted and loved by the Savior of the world. But Jesus really did love us. We messed up constantly. We also didn't understand everything he said to us. But he loved us anyway. Because Jesus loved me, I could love him. He was so good to us.
Philip, I remember this one time Jesus was telling us that he had to go to heaven. None of us really knew exactly what he was talking about. I remember him saying that he would leave to get a place ready for us. And for a little while we couldn't go with him, but soon we would. He told us that he was the way to God. I even asked him to show us God the Father, and then we would be fine. But Jesus told us that he was God. I didn't understand it totally, but I found out more as time went on.
When we were having our last meal with Jesus before he was hung on the cross, Jesus looked at me and told me that I would deny that I knew him 3 times in the coming hours. I couldn't believe it. But you know what? He was right. When they came looking for Jesus, some guards remembered my face. They came up to me and said, "We saw you with Jesus. What do you know about him?" I told them, "Jesus? No, you must have the wrong guy. I don't know Jesus." They left, and different people asked me the same thing 2 more times. I lied both times. Looking back, I wish I had said that I knew Jesus. They might have killed me, but Jesus willingly let himself be killed for me and my sins. He loved us so much.